Hello everybody, I'm Richard Bory, and welcome to the 14th episode of Red Chip Travel Series. Before we begin, be sure to leave a like and also subscribe to see more of my content. Now, this episode is going to be very similar to a previous episode. It's going to be a part 2 to the episode Some Well-Needed Upgrades. Now, in that episode, what I did was I made a list of improvements to do around the base, and I did many of those improvements while simultaneously doing a bunch of resource gathering. Now, I hope this is going to be a lot of fun, and let's get started. To open up, we're going to do some work in the Hall of Fortune, getting some more villagers in there to see if we can get any new enchantments. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep doing this until I guess I run out of villagers or something else happens. So, yeah, wish me luck. Let's see if I can get anything useful, like Efficiency 5. So, after a fair bit, like I would say a half hour, I got no new enchantments, so it's kind of a bummer. But anyway, got myself some emeralds. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get myself a Silk Touch pickaxe and go on my very first ice mining session. Ice is going to be very useful, especially for redstone and item transportation systems. So, yeah, I'm going to jump right into that. Okay, so I just got myself Efficiency 4 and Silk Touch, and I am going to apply that directly to my pickaxe. There we go. Now I have a Silk Touch pickaxe and a Fortune pickaxe. Silk Touch is probably going to be used best for mining. Oh, I forgot. I need to put mending on this. Yeah. Always put mending on your stuff if you have it available. Thankfully, I have a mending villager. It's one of the best enchantments that I have, so yes, I'm going to put mending on this, and I'll be right back. Okay, I am up top the level 5 of the XP farm. Now, over there is an ice spikes biome, or ice mountain, something like that. I'm gonna go and do my ice mining session there, and I will let you know once I get that done. I was not expecting this to be so satisfying. This might be one of my favorite, most satisfying things to do in Minecraft. Yowza. Okay, after a relatively swift mining session, I've got like a good 10-15 stacks, so I'm really happy about that. Time to head back. It is now time for the dirt gathering session, and after this we should be able to move on to our first project, which is the automatic melon and pumpkin farm, so that's gonna be fun. Okay, so I got myself about half of inventory well, more of a 3/4 of an inventory full of dirt, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move on to the first project, which is a automatic melon and pumpkin farm. So these are the resources that I have. I actually need to get myself some chests and hoppers, but it's going to be right by the villager district, so yay. Alright, so it's going to be rather long. It's going to stretch out from like here to here, I would guess. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear out the area first and give you a progress update. Okay, so I've cleared out a 7 by 22 area. That should be long enough for me to set that up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first start out by like the little sorting system for this, and that shouldn't be too much of a problem. And let's go. Okay, so this is the area cleared out for the mini sorting system. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have 2 rows of chests going straight down, and then they'll be stacked with hoppers. And yeah, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to finish this sorting system, and then I'll give you a progress update once that is done. Sorry, I can't speak today. So after a lot of tinkering, I managed to get a small little item sorter. This chest will be filled up with melons, and this chest will be filled up with pumpkins. That's where those 2 things will go. And I filled out this line. This just shows the whole length of this thing. And yeah, I'm gonna get started on the rest of this. Okay, so I've put the stream of water and ice, and I also put in all the farmland that's necessary for this, and a creeper comes right out of nowhere. Hold on, let me just deal with this puppy. Okay, he's dead. No longer have to worry about that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up I need to set granite all through the whole length of this on both sides, so I'm going to do that. Okay, so the granite and redstone is in place. Now what I have to do is I have to place the observers. In order for this to work, it's going to be a pattern of observer, and then piston, like so, like this. Observer, and then piston between the observers facing the opposite direction, like that. So I'm just going to follow this pattern all along the entirety of this, and then I'm going to remove the dirt, and then replace it, and then till the dirt right underneath that, and this thing should be ready, and then all I have to do is put in the seeds. I don't have all the seeds, but that's okay. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I haven't tilled the farmland yet. However, I have the resources to make this twice as long, so I'm going to do that. Okay, so it is about halfway filled with seeds, but I finished the whole thing, which is great. I'm going to, take some bone meal and see if I can get any more other seeds. And I'm just going to fill this in, and then it'll be done. Yay! And it should work. Okay, there we go. A bit of melon just went into this. Okay, this thing is completely done and functional. I'm going to do some resource gathering and then AFK and see how much of this I can get. I can't believe I actually got, like, a giant redstone contraption working. Oop. I didn't see that one. But that was cool. Yeah. Okay, so after about an hour and a half of AFKing, let's see just how much we've got. Okay. And, well, that's decent. I mean, okay. I can live with that. Now, time to trade all this in and see about how many, like, whatchamacallits, emeralds are in about an hour and a half of the AFKing. Hello, my preciouses. Okay, I'm gonna deal with these guys. Okay, so we've got 27 emeralds and 40 pumpkins left because our only pumpkin guy got filled up. So anyway, yeah, this is pretty good. I'm gonna put these back where they came from. All the ones that are left anyway. Okay. Okie dokie. Alright, this is cool. Alright, now time to move on to the next thing, which is, it's gonna be a quartz mining session. Yeah, I need to do quartz mining session, and after, I'm probably gonna AFK first and fix all my tools. But anyway, wish me luck. Alright, so about a half hour of quartz gathering got us this much. Now, I haven't even gone with the Fortune 3 at this thing yet, so yeah, let's build up all of this and get right into this. Alright, I'm gonna make like a tower of this and then mine it down, see how much experience and quartz we get from it. Okay, look how high up we are. This is all of the quartz ore, minus of course this stuff, like that stack and a quarter. But anyhow, yeah, this is pretty tall. Let's see how much quartz we get by the time we mine this whole thing down. This is it. This is how much. Look at all this nether quartz. I mean, this is like what? This is like almost an inventory full of nether quartz. I mean, this was pretty dang successful. Okay, so I'm going to sort this, and things will be good. There was one very crucial detail that I forgot in the stable. And that detail is... Hold on, it's taking a while. Losing dramatic effect. There's always that one puddle that's always in the stable. It never leaves. There's always that just like one puddle. Don't judge me, okay? Oh my gosh. Okay, so the next thing we're going to work on is the automatic sugarcane farm. This is the design that I came up with. It should be exactly this size. Alright, now, like the hardest part was getting the hopper to stop moving when it has stuff in it. But that works. So, yeah, let's jump right into it. I'm gonna put in all the resources in, like, my actual world. Okie dokie, so this should be everything we need to create that whole thing. If it's not, I mean, I'm sure I have the resources for it. So now let's clean out and... Actually, no. I'm going to start with the storage and stopping the minecart system, I guess. And then we'll work from there. Okay, the minecart stopping system and the chests are all in place. Alright, now it's time to put in, like, the first level, which is going to be all of the railing. Let's go. Alright, all of the railing is in place. I've got the hopper minecart moving. Now, I put some dirt into this thing. Let's see if it stops. Is it picking up stuff? Yes! It's working! Yes! Okay, so... all of the redstone components work. Awesome. Okay, this thing works. I'll explain how this works. Okay, now what happens is, like, once the hopper with minecart goes on this, it turns off this, and Actually, no, it turns on off this torch, which turns off this right here, which turns off this. And once this is off, uh, it's the hopper minecart stops moving. And as soon as this is off, as soon as this detects something, this activates, and that turns off the same redstone torch so that the whole thing stays off until all of the items are out of the hopper, and then it moves along again. So it makes sure that all of the stuff gets picked up, which it did, thankfully. Oh, no, it's this chest. Yes. Okay. So, it works, and I'm very happy. Now time to move on to putting in, like, the rest of the dirt and water. Okay, all of the dirt and water is in place. Now I need to start laying, like, the structure for all of the redstone components, which is a cobblestone upside-down T going along each and every one of these, like, columns of water. So I'm going to do that, and I'll give you a progress update once that has happened. But I can't speak. Okie dokie, all of the structure is set up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a time lapse showing me putting in all the redstone. Here we go. Okie dokie, so this whole thing's done. I just threw in the, the hopper with minecart. I also put in the sugarcane, so this thing should be completely functional right now. I'm real excited. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to AFK for a while and see how much sugarcane we pick up. I no longer have to do all of this manually. Great. Okie dokie, so for about a half hour of AFK, we've got 2.5 stacks, so that goes about 5 stacks an hour, and with the amount of time that I play in AFK, I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, I was expecting a little bit more, but, I mean, this thing works, and, I mean, it's like with the amount of time that I'm going to be playing, it's like I'm really going to stack up with that stuff. I mean, I think I'll keep this, but otherwise leave it alone. Just because, I mean, I built that thing to save time, so I don't know. I think I'll leave this here for now and see if I desperately need it or not. But anyway, now it's time to do a 1-hour mining session because that thing took up a ton of my resources. It took up a ton of redstone, a ton of cobble, dirt. I mean, I'm still good on, and it took a decent chunk out of my iron, so yeah, before I can move on to any of the other projects, I need to do a bit of mining, so I'm gonna do that. Okay, so these are all the ores we got from that, so that's a pretty nice haul of coal, and decent bit of iron. Iron was one of the things that I needed, so I'm glad I got that. Very few diamonds compared to some of my previous ones where I got like over a stack. Anyway, I think this was a pretty good mining session, so, alright, it's time to move on. I'll figure out what's going on next. I think we're going to work on the XP farm because it needs a sorting system in there, and that looks cool. Anyway, alright, let's go and do that. Okay, so I got a good bit of wood collecting. It's all this right here. So I decided to do the spruce mining session. Relatively successful, might I add. I mean, it's wood collecting, so there's not much of a difference between good and bad, but anyway, it works. We've got that. I'll need to do the oak collecting session later. But anyway, now we need to move on to getting the item sorting system inside of the, whatchamacallit, the XP farm. Yes, let's go. Okay, so I got all of the resources needed to make an item sorter for this thing, so I'm going to jump right into it. Okay, this is the item drop-off system. Oh wait, I forgot. Okay, there we go. Now the item drop-off system is almost complete. Okay, there we go. Alright, now I need to do, like, the back of it, which involves all of the hoppers and stuff that actually delivers stuff to the chests. So, let's do that. Alright, the chest, the hoppers, the redstone wiring is all set for this whole thing. If you want a tutorial, there's a link in the description. But anyway, now all I gotta do is I gotta do this for each of the items, types of items that are gonna be in here. This one's gonna be junk, and everything else will end up in here, so good. I'm gonna finish putting this stuff in for all of the items, and it'll be done. Okay, everything's set up. We've got the gunpowder, bones, rotten flesh, string, and... Sorry, it's thundering. And the arrows. Okay, and everything else will end up in here, like junk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure everything's cleaned up. Boy, I need to clear out my inventory. And yeah, this should work. Alright, let's put it into action. Boom. Boom. Yes. Okay, now all of that stuff should get sorted. We've got a bit of bones, a bit of meat, rotten flesh, no arrows. Oh, this is the string, I guess. And we've got that junk ended up in there. Okay, awesome. Cool. Anyhow, this is done. Now it's time to move on. Okay, so we got this, and whoa. Whoa. Okay, we got a good bit. I AFK'd overnight, and boy, that thing packed a bit of stuff in it. I'm not sure what I want to do with this yet, but anyway, now we're going to move on to doing a super smelter. Yes, I'm going to go collect the resources for that now. Boom. Okay, it all works. This hopper didn't activate, but that's like kind of a glitch in the system. Anyway, yeah, if you really want a solid tutorial on how this is built, check it out on Mumbo Jumbo. I put the link in the description, hopefully. Alright, let's go. Okay, so I did a bit of cave mining, and I got this much, 4 stacks of iron. It's pretty good. Not too successful, but, I mean, I thought I'd turn out more ores than doing just like a regular mining session, but regular mining sessions are actually better than caving, I guess. But, anyway, at least you get to put the super smelter to good use. Is there any coal in there? Yes, there is. Okay. Cool. Okay, there we go. Now that's being used. Awesome. Alright, now it's time to move on. Okay, so between the last clip and now, I put in 4 extra platforms for the XP farm. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create an automatic sheep shearing farm over there in that location. Now, time to move over to a creative testing world. Okay, this is the design for like one chamber. We're going to have 16 of these chambers. What's going to happen is I'm going to have 2 double chests here to pick up all of like the stuff. I mean, there were more sheep in there, but I killed them. I've got the 2 hoppers pointing in there. And now how this actually works is that it's like a dispenser with shears in it can actually shear sheep. And so what happens is, as soon as that grass block right there grows, it will trigger this observer, which will power these 2 redstone wires, which will power this, and which will try and shear the sheep. Every time the sheep eats the grass, it will trigger that little reaction, and we grab the wolf with that minecart with hopper right there, and then these 2 hoppers pick it up and put them into the 2 chests. So, let's build this. Okay, so I ran out of iron again, so I went on a 1-hour mining session. Quite successful, got more than a stack of diamonds, ton of coal, and almost 5 stacks of iron. And I don't even know how much redstone and lapis, but anyway, now it's time for me to finish getting all the resources together for that. I'll see you in a minute. Look at that, we've got a cute little fox now. Alright, now what I have here is I have all the resources. I'm going to put in all of the chests and the hoppers for them. I'll show you what it looks like in a minute. Okay, it's all set up. The reason I have the hopper stacked like this is so that the bottom will get filled up first, and then this hopper will fill up, which means it'll stop taking items from this and fill up the other chests. Pretty simple. Alright, now the next thing I'm going to do is place a rail, shift-click, place a rail like that, and put the minecart with hopper in on top of that, and I didn't grab the glass. But after I do that, I put glass all around it, to keep it from moving. And then I do that for all of the rest of these. Okay, that's done. Now the next thing we've got to do is we've got to put in the 2 blocks of grass like this along the whole thing. Next, we've got to put the observers facing this center grass block all along like this. Okay, next to the observer. Now you need to stand like this because unlike observers, dispensers face towards you while observers face away from you. So you need to stand like this to place it like that. It needs to be facing in towards the center. Okay, the next thing you have to do is you have to take a solid non-glass block, if it's glass it won't work, and go 2 blocks out behind the observers. Next you gotta get up top here and put in the redstone. The reason it's 2 blocks is so that, as you can see, if it's like here, it won't go into the dispenser, so the second one just straightens it out. Personally, I think this was like the cheapest solution to that problem. Next, you can fill this in with any block. Make sure it goes up so that it's just above the dispenser, just 1 block above. And you have to go around, like, sort of full circle around it so that the sheep can't wander into other pens. And then now you just fill that in. Another thing I would recommend that at least this block be grass so that it doesn't, so that, like, this grass can still grow and continue growing this, because this has to be here, or else this grass won't regenerate and the sheep can't regrow their wool. So you make sure at least this block is grass or something similar. Okay, now the next thing you need to do is you need to grab a bunch of shears. I got enough so that I can put 2 in each of the things. Now, hold on, I need to actually build a staircase to get up there. Oh, wow. Okay, there we go. 2 for each. And yeah, I'm just going to finish that. Okay, that's all done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to breed the sheep, the white sheep, gradually. And once I do that, I'll just lure them in with, like, either leashes or, gosh, I can't think of it, wheat. And then just push them in once they're up here. And yeah, that'll be good. However, that's all the time I have for today. This was a very successful episode. I got a lot of stuff done. We've got a new redstone machine in each of our districts. So, yes, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more of my content. And also comment and tell me, let you know what you think. I love feedback. Alright? That's all, and I'll see you guys next time.